Hey everybody, it's David here live on the PowerCast every Tuesday night. I got a very exciting show for you, a very special guest. I have Xzavier Richardson from Hands on Moving. Very happy to have you on the show tonight. Thank you, my friend, so much for being here tonight.
Thank you, David, man.
Unfortunately, Eric is not joining us tonight. He's taking his son Dylan to college. Dylan, we're very excited for you to have an amazing experience this year in school. Eric, we miss you very much, and we look forward to seeing Eric really soon.
I got a gift for you, Eric.
Absolutely. Oh, a beautiful gift, by the way. Everybody, please make sure, if you haven't done so already, very important, go to YouTube, go and type in Team Powerhouse Real Estate, hit subscribe. You can watch us every week on the show live or on the replay. You also can catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, and so much more. TikTok as well. We're looking forward to being a part of your lives. Bringing with you every week a very special guest and some more education on real estate and new local businesses as well. So today we have an amazing guest, a friend of mine, a friend of yours to be for sure, Xzavier Richardson from Hands on Moving. I want to thank you again for being on the show tonight, and I want to get to know you and for the people to get to know you a little bit on a personal level.
Nice.
So tell us a little about, first of all, family life. Are you married? Any kids?
Yes, married, celebrated 5-year anniversary this year.
What's your wife's name?
Wife is Xzavier Richardson.
Jana, thank you so much for allowing him to be here today, and we're really excited to have him, and hopefully you're watching this show as well. And you have any kids?
Yes, 3 boys, no girls.
3 boys.
So Cameron, Carter, Dennis. Carter's 7 years old, got to remember. Cam is turning 2 in October, and Dennis is 15. So he's about to turn 16. Yeah.
Beautiful, man. That's beautiful.
So nice and spread out.
Nice and spread out. And Dennis, is he getting involved in the business at all? Has he kind of been there to help that out ever? He's not interested.
No, he's a gamer, and I think now he's trying to look into getting more into the business, like helping out in the summertime after school. But he's a gamer.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you something. As a kid growing up, I remember the family business. Going to work with my father wasn't always a thing that we wanted to do, but it was a job that you could do and you were welcome into, right? And then when you came to work with your dad was tough on you, which made it tougher because you want to teach your son all these great things, but did your son want to hear all the... And he's like roll his eyes at you, and then he didn't want to come and you're like, all you want to do is teach him and make him happy and get him excited about this opportunity.
Well, that's my story. So my dad, I learned we'll get into it, but I learned the business from my dad. So I'm trying to be a little different with the kids and let them find their way before I kind of put down the hammer.
And Dylan's the oldest one.
Dennis, yeah. Dennis the other one, yeah.
So, Dennis, if you're watching the show, and I hope you are, I'm going to tell you something. Your dad is a spectacular individual. He is a hard worker who built a business from nothing. I'm going to learn more about this today, and so is everybody else over here. And it's something that he's established that you can take over maybe one day and be very successful in the community and outside the community as well. Mm-hmm. So let's talk more about you, Xzavier.
Okay.
Where are you from?
Born and raised in New Haven. Graduated from Hamden High. Got my degree at Southern Connecticut State University. Bought my first house in East Haven, so I reside in East Haven now. So,
is your degree in?
Yeah, business management. So I always kind of had that business mindset.
That's fantastic.
From my parents. So.
So what was your first job growing up?
So my first job was working for the LEAP program in New Haven.
Wow.
Which to this day, I still sponsor and donate money to that program because it kind of shaped who I am today.
That's a pretty cool.
That was my first job as a junior counselor, moving up to a senior counselor. So.
And what made you decide to get into like the moving company business? Like, how did that happen?
So my father and my mom was highly involved in real estate. So
really,
they owned like 25 houses collectively at one point. Coming here from the South, they was buying up all the houses back in the 70s, at a very low cost and flipping them and all those good things. So my father owned a limo service. He owned a deli mart, a car wash.
Wow.
He was doing construction and he was doing moving. So I got more connected with the moving side at 9 to 10 years old, where that was something I was able to do. Move a box, move a lamp, something that you really couldn't screw up as a kid. So that's kind of how I got involved, and that's what I loved.
Cameron, you said, right?
Cameron is the youngest.
I'm sorry.
No, Dennis is
Dennis.
He's the oldest one.
All right, Dennis, coming back to you for a second, Dennis. So you started doing this at 9 years old with Dad, right?
Yeah.
and you kind of felt a passion for it. You found the fact that you could do something, you can get paid to move some things around. And Dennis, let me tell you, it's something very special to be able to have something established ready for you.
Yeah.
And again, in the business world, it's all about building relationships. And your dad's established his business relationships. I remember the first time he came up and called me up and got together with me, and I'm like, I'm the kind of guy that if you call me up and you sound like a professional, we're gonna get together and meet.
Correct.
And when we sat down together, I looked in those pretty eyes. No, I mean, he's got this smile. How could you not just want to have a chat with him? So we sat down. We started talking about your business and the moving business. And I really didn't have anybody I was working with directly.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I said, we'll take a shot with this guy. Let's see what happens. And the first client we referred you to was like, oh my God, Xzavier and his team are unbelievable, which makes me as a realtor look and feel amazing, right? Because your clients are everything to you.
And that's always our goal,
It was amazing. And ever since then, and we'll go into that more from even to the last week, I just referred you another client, and they called me up. I came into their place, whatever, and they're like, oh my God, Xzavier and his team are unbelievable. And it's like amazing 5 years later to have that kind of, response from every client is such a true statement to who you are and as a company and as an individual.
And I appreciate that, trusting in me, man.
100%. Let's talk more about your business. So how many employees do you have working for you?
I'm at about 40. I kind of stay between 40 and 50 employees
Now, let me ask you a question. When you first started the business, how many employees did you have? Because you didn't have 40 or 50.
No, I probably had about 6 or 8. And
Right.
I was one of the one of them.
You were on every job that we saw you on.
Correct.
You were physically there on every job. There's never a time when I pick the phone up that if I reach out to Xzavier, he does not get back to me. I always will hear from him, and that is a true value of who you're working with and the company. Your people, your staff, the people who work for you on the inside office, they're so professional, very well spoken, very sweet. They make you feel like less nervous as a person who's going to be selling their house and moving or buying a house and moving.
Yeah.
Because there's so much adrenaline going on in people's minds and body that when it comes to moving from home to home or moving into your first home and hiring somebody you've never met before on a referral basis from a realtor very commonly, and you do with a lot of realtors.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, every realtor that I know, we talk about recommending moving companies. Oh yeah, we only use Xzavier.
Yeah.
Hands-on moving every day, all day long.
Yeah.
Because you've built and established that. But now, how long has the business been in business?
Since 2014, so it's 8 years now.
That's unbelievable.
So we're ramping up. We're ready to think about a 10-year celebration right now.
That's
It's like 16 months away. So.
That's just amazing, unbelievable. How many trucks do you have?
So I have an 8-truck operation.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Started from a pickup truck in 2014, Honda Accord, 2-door, hand truck in the back, labor-only services, and now we got an 8-truck operation, 2 warehouses. So
40 to 50 employees,
Yeah.
and you have 8 trucks involved in moving.
yes,
That's quite an operation. And listen, you're growing very quickly. You probably are every day or every month or every year, there's got to be an increase in not only people working for you, but also the amount of product and stuff you need.
correct.
What are your hours like? Are you a 1 day a week, 2 day a week? Now, I know that's more than 2 days.
Yeah.
You're a 5 day a week. But what are your hours
7
like?
days a week. Yeah. So
7
we haven't got to the point where we want to close down on Sundays yet. We have lightened up our schedule on Saturday and Sunday because our guys are getting burnt out.
Yes.
Because of the growth.
Yes.
But we haven't totally made it 1 day that we're closed. Not just yet.
Well, in our business, as you know, especially with real estate, we work 7 days a week as well.
Yeah.
And closings are happening 5 days a week. That doesn't mean that people aren't moving on Saturday and Sunday.
Correct.
Which is very common for people because based on their work schedules, they sometimes can't get days off during the week, so they need that Saturday or Sunday option.
Yeah.
Right?
And we have a lot of people that just say, hey, they never know that we move on Sunday. So when we offer, they're like, oh my gosh, yes, I would take it.
Although the best days of the week to move are during the weekdays versus the weekends because I would just think it's a little easier as a whole. If everybody, especially as a person taking some time off from work, Thursday, take the long weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday kind of thing. So 5 trucks going back. And what kind of services do you offer? In moving a house, I'm going to talk about, we walk into houses. I have a client that says, call up Xzavier and ask him what it's going to cost to move because people get nervous about spending money.
Correct.
And I always tell them, it's not as expensive as you think.
Correct.
But the most important thing is, now I'm 48 years old.
Correct.
if I pick up a couch, I'm going to be on a stretcher. Mm-hmm. They're going to have to call 911 because I sneeze and I throw my back down, right? So you have guys that work for you, I'm going to assume that might be younger than I am.
Yeah.
And they also are used to knowing how to lift things correctly.
Correct.
Right? And get the job done in a way that's very efficient. So let's talk about that. What kind of things do you guys move pianos?
We do.
Do you guys move pool tables?
We do.
Do you guys relocate cars?
We do.
No kidding.
So we sub that out, but with our national van line relationship that some people kind of got to the known of recently, we kind of could move you anywhere now. In the beginning, we couldn't. We only went about 16 hours in each direction. But now we're with a van line company. So now we could go anywhere with the tractor trailer, put 4 to 5 houses up there, but we still have that independent field. So we didn't want to get rid of that. So that's kind of what we still offer to our customers.
So that kind of leads me to some more questions I'm going to ask you. And I have everything written down because it's important to make sure I ask you the questions so that you, the viewers, know and understand. Because if you have any questions out there, please do not hesitate to reach out to us on Facebook. Jonathan's on our Facebook page. He's also watching our Instagram page. And if you want to reach out and say what's up to Xzavier and say hello, please do that as well. We're also live on his personal Facebook page.
Yes.
So if you guys are out there and you guys are seeing some great stuff over here, you want to reach out and give a shout out, do not hesitate. This is about 10,000 people watching us right now live all over the country, all over the world.
Nice.
Which is pretty wild and crazy to know that they're watching you, a guy who's a local guy from New Haven, born and raised, went to Hamden High School, built a business about 2014, just a little kind of synopsis of what's going on here. 2014, went from a pickup truck to now 8 trucks, 40 to 50 employees, and reputation that is unprecedented. Question, Jonathan.
Eric asks, do the trucks have refrigerators on them in case you want to bring food along with you?
So that's Eric Vasquez from our team who's not joining us here today, which we miss and love. Good question. Do you guys...
No, Eric. They don't have a refrigeration. If we did, we'll stay cool during the summertime. My guys, I know they wish that we did, but no.
That might be something to look into. You have trucks with refrigeration.
Well, it's a good question. We do have a delivery division, which we do have contracts with, like the Lowe's Home Improvement, Wayfair. So those are contracts that we have that kind of keeps us afloat during the off season. So we haven't gotten to the contracts that's needed a refrigerator truck, but I think that day will come.
You just touched on 2 things went sideways on me for, which is actually really good. Number 1, you are involved with Wayfair, which is really good to know because I had no idea about that. So if you order something from, let's say, Wayfair,
you may see my guys show up. Yeah.
Now, do you guys also put the things together?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So we offer, furniture assembly as well. Yeah.
I'm extremely not handy, okay? And it's interesting you mentioned that because
we're hands-on. Of course we have to offer that.
Completely hands-on. That's pretty awesome. But great question, Eric, and so happy you're listening today, even though with your boy Dylan out there in the amazing atmosphere of college and everything that's going on there. So Eric listening live.
And we have college moving coming up, so.
Oh.
2 weeks.
No kidding. Is that a new business opening up, college moving?
No. College moving, meaning that we're moving college kids in.
We
have contracts with those.
That's a very good.
So Yale, University of New Haven, Quinnipiac.
Wow.
We do that. We do the move out and move in, so.
That's unbelievable.
We're ramping up for that right now. We probably have about maybe 400 students in our warehouse right now.
Wow.
Yeah, prep schools, Taft,
Damn,
Cheshire Academy,
blow my mind over
Salisbury, like all those prep schools, we operate with them. We're partners with them. So.
No, okay. So the parents call you up, say, "Listen, my kid's moving in and out of school."
No, they sign up through the school themselves, saying that over the summer we want to have storage, and we make that connection with the school, and we make it a stress-free situation. We just come, the boxes are ready in the dorm room, we take it out, we label it, we store it, we inventory it. By the time they come back to school, it's sitting in a dorm room ready to go.
Wow. I need that for my son. Do you guys do that in Florida by any chance? My son's...
We don't, but I have a partner in Florida that could do that for you. I do have a partner. I really do.
Because I have really, South Florida or what part of Florida?
I have partners, they're called dorm removers that they kind of cover everywhere in the country. So if we ever need to...
Danny, I just found a new moving company in Florida because I'm not going to have to lift... It's funny. To move kids into school as a parent is very challenging. It's a lot of...
Yeah.
So you literally, you come to the school with your cars packed with crap or stuff or furniture or whatever have you, right? And then what happens is you got to bring it. You're waiting for a hand truck. There's one hand truck for every family to use, by the way, which isn't stupid.
Correct.
Okay? Now I got to get this hand truck. I finally got to get it. And I now have to bring as much as I can, not to mention lifting.
Yeah.
I'm not built to move and to do this kind of thing, and then not to be exhausted or hurt myself in the process.
Correct.
And like they had the girls' soccer team helping families out when I got there. I was so happy to see these girls.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're built like brick shit houses. I mean,
Yeah.
like legit, like no joke. And here I am having these girls help me out to move. But seriously, that's an amazing thing. So you have a company that down in Florida help kids
Yeah.
move. Mind blowing. Did not know this existed.
Yeah.
Wow.
We offer a lot, so.
That's unbelievable. All right, so sidetracked on that whole thing. We're gonna get back.
Sorry.
So if you're a student, by the way, looking to move into a college near you or near us,
Yeah.
Hands-on Moving will help you move into your school.
It's very affordable as well.
We'll go into the affordable part. The affordable part is mind blowing. People don't realize how affordable it is to hire you.
Correct.
And the service you guys physically offer. Again, I can't tell you enough. And to the people out there, if you've never moved before, don't try it at home. It's a disaster physically and mentally, and the stress involved.
And no more beers and pizza for the friends. Let that go.
You cannot have hold on, your friends won't show up. They're sick. They've got something.
Yep.
They got an event. It doesn't happen. All right, getting back into you. Do you supply your clients with boxes, tape, bubble wrap when they're going to be moving their property? How does that work? So, like, you go to someone's house in the beginning, right? So
Correct.
someone calls you up and says, "Hey, I want to move. I need to, hire a moving company." What's the first step?
So the first step is we understand that you don't know anything about moving.
That's true.
So when you come and call our office, we want to set up a free consultation. We don't want you to give us any information that be missing, because during that consultation, you will forget that you don't remember your own house.
It's true.
I walk through on these consultations sometimes and these estimates in my team, and they forget that they have a patio area. They forget about the crawl space. They forget about the attic. They just go into the primary locations that they see every single day: the living room, the dining room, the bedroom. So when I'm walking through, I'm like, "Hey, do you have an attic, patio, shed, garage?" "Oh my gosh, Xzavier, thank you so much."
Right.
So the thing is like if that question is not asked, your budget that you thought that you have now increases,
Of
which
course.
comes to the point of, oh, there's hidden fees and things like that, which we don't want.
Never.
We want to make sure that our quote is honest.
Upfront
and honest. So
and honest. Jonathan.
Eric wants to know if you go to Vermont.
we do.
Eric, he goes to Vermont. Eric's in Vermont right now, bringing
Nice.
his kid to school. So I can already imagine right now what he's going through, bringing all the, he packed up a couple of cars worth of stuff.
Oh, okay.
And I know that, I know from going through this process, and Eric knows right now going through it, it's a pain in the tush.
Yeah.
Physically and mentally.
Is
And-
this freshman year for?
Oh, it's his freshman year. Dylan's freshman year in school. We're very excited for him. He's going to be playing football for the school.
Nice.
He's a walk-on. As a matter of fact, well, I'm not sure if it's called a walk-on because he's a kicker.
Okay.
So he actually not a walk-on. He went and kicked the ball for the team.
Okay.
And he kicks the ball like 40, 50 yards. It's unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got quite a boot on him.
For a freshman, that's
For
good.
a freshman,
That's
yeah.
good. Yeah.
So with that being said, yeah, he's going through it right now. So yeah, you go to Vermont and do the same thing. No,
So
kidding.
so what he's doing right now is normal. Freshman year, you make it look good. You take the pictures. You blow your back out. To act like you're the best father in the world. And then what we do in between freshman year and senior is we do that summer storage.
Right.
So now what he needs
wow.
to do is, I'll connect him with my partners during removers, where now he never has to take that drive. The next in sophomore year, he'll just drive up.
Eric, you're
and-
listening to
and-
this.
And
You
the
don't
boxes
have
will
to
be in
move-
the
you
boxes
don't-
will be in the room for him.
So you don't have to move the things back. So is that cross country? They have the company that does this?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. So we're their trusted, vendors here in Connecticut.
Yes.
But they have trusted vendors all over the place, and we're one of their top vendors that they trust. Even sometimes we do work in New York, Massachusetts. We do the projects. During the pandemic, we travel outside of our radius just because they know that we do well. So
Xzavier did something very special for me. My mother-in-law's best friend, God rest her soul, we sold her house in Hamden, and you moved her. Now she had 100 tchotchkes, little porcelain tchotchkes. When I say tchotchkes, these little, cutesy little porcelain thingies.
China, yeah.
Right, China.
Fragile.
You wrapped. Your guys came in, wrapped every piece, gently placed
She
them
moved to
in
Delaware, right?
Maryland.
Maryland. Okay.
Yes.
I knew it was around that area. Yep.
And you wrapped and you boxed everything up beautifully. Drove all the way to Maryland for her. Unpacked every piece. Put everything away for her. Her son called me up. His name is Bart, by the way.
Yeah.
Bart called me up and said, "David, I have never experienced such professionalism and care from a moving company ever." That's what Xzavier and his team does. It's unbelievable the experience you provide people.
Thank
And
you.
every person, I can't say it enough, talks about you like as if you're like, yeah, like that.
It's my team, to be
It's-
honest with you. It's not just me, it's my team.
No, it's definitely
Yeah,
your team, though. But
yeah, yeah.
you're the face of the
Yeah,
team,
yeah,
right? But they're
yeah.
the face of you. And I always tell my son, for example, when you're out there, you represent our family.
Absolutely.
When you're out there in the world, make sure you look in someone's eyes, you handshake well, and what you do and how you present yourself as your family. And your team represents your team. They love the company they work for.
Yeah.
They respect you so much, and they love their job, and they make your company 5 stars every time.
Appreciate the kind words, man.
It's easy to say. This is easy because if it's
Appreciate
true,
it.
it's easy. I always tell people it's so easy to compliment somebody in a company or a business
Yeah.
when it's true.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right. Let's get back into my questions about you and your company. So going back, how far do you move clients in or out of state? You kind of answered that question.
Anywhere. At the
Literally.
point, anywhere. Yep.
All right. Do you provide in-home estimates? And you said you do. You go to the
do.
house. So you walk into someone's house. You walk in room to room. You're checking out the spaces that they didn't think about, that they may need, the patios, the garage, etc.
Correct.
All the stuff that need to either. So while you're in there, do you create an inventory of items that the people have?
We do. So we create an inventory. And then at that point, we offer additional services because you may not know. So you may need storage. You may need to load up one day and unload 2 days later.
We'll talk about that. I'm going to come
Yeah.
back to that in one second. By the way, do you actually pack up? So for people who have, let's say, kitchen and hardware and all kind of, do you actually pack up those items for them in their kitchens if they want that type of service?
Absolutely.
So
Full service.
I would call that a white glove, hands-on service,
Yep.
hands-on moving.
Yep.
Literally packing up so they can sit back, not do a thing,
Yep.
and have you. What about closets? You pack up closets?
Everything. We'll pack up the whole house. You could leave it as is. Even if you have junk there, leave the junk. We'll do junk removal services. Customers love it.
That's on my list of questions. That's pretty. Listen, you make the move of people's. I walked in. I was in a house today, right? And literally was in a house, and we were in Waterbury, and we're sitting down doing a listing appointment. Before we get to the listing appointment, we walked through the house, and they've got stuff all in their house.
Yeah.
And they need. And as I'm walking around, I'm saying, okay, you need to get rid of this stuff here. What's your plans? I didn't even think for 1 second that the hands-on moving company will also get rid of junk.
Yeah.
That's a full service company, guys. And if you haven't thought about this or it's mind blowing to you as it is for me, you need to make sure to pick up the phone. Now, Jonathan loves when I do this last minute shit.
Yeah.
Stuff. I'm sorry. Well, he loves when I ask him to pop on the screen your phone number. But Jonathan, I apologize always in advance or every time we do this. But if you could please give out loud your phone number so everybody has it so they can call you and your office.
Okay.
I'm not sure. What's the girl's in the office name over there?
So it's Arlene, that's the office manager.
Yes.
And we have Alyssa that we call Bree, who is their office administrator. So
Okay.
those two, they're awesome.
Alyssa, we call Bree.
We call her Bree.
We call her Bree.
She prefer to go by that.
Okay.
I don't know how she was Alyssa to Bree, but and then we have Arlene that
Arlene.
operates the office.
I think I've spoken to both of them. They're so pleasant on the phone. They're
Yes.
just, they really, they love who they work for.
Yeah, they love
know,
their job. They're really good.
they
They're
really-
excited. They give me energy. Trust me.
That's pretty awesome, man. That's amazing. All right, what's the phone number to reach out to you
Okay.
that Jonathan's going to get on the screen for everybody to know to call?
Phone number is 203 937
203 937
2156.
2156 is the number. Expect the girls to answer. And what are the hours there at the office, by the way?
8 to 4:30.
Okay, so what happens when someone calls after 4:30?
So we have a secondary service that offers that on call.
Yes.
And then also our New Haven office answers when our West Haven office is busy.
So you
I
have multiple offices.
Yeah, so I have a New Haven office, Church Street.
Okay.
That's kind of just answers kind of like a call center.
Yes.
During operation, and then after hour, we have a third party that answers our calls for us because we don't want to miss out on any emergency calls.
That's important.
Something happened, my clothes didn't change, I can't move tomorrow.
You know, we're gonna jump right into that. I got all these questions lined up. I've got so many great questions for you, but I want to get back into that question.
Yep.
So give me 1 second so I don't miss anything over here. All right. So what happens? If something is broken,
So
are you licensed and insured?
licensed and insured, and then we go the extra mile.
By the way, I've never once, for the record, had a client say to me that they broke something.
That's good to hear.
But
Yeah.
I'm
It
sure
happens.
it happens.
It happens, yeah.
So what happens?
So the thing is, it happens. You gotta understand, you're moving your whole life in a 26-foot box truck that's bouncing up and down from point A to point B. We do all we can for precautions to make sure nothing happens.
and you really do
Yeah.
protect the product. I
Correct.
watched it several times, but go ahead.
So if something happens, it's like we could just throw the insurance money at you, right? Some people don't pay for additional insurance. Some people go with the free insurance. Not to lie, if you don't pay for additional insurance, you're not going to get the value of what your things are really worth.
insurance is there for a reason,
It's there for a reason.
especially
But-
if you have something that's a very costly item.
Correct. But the key is this. What we learn is we have relationships. So we have furniture repair company. We have glass companies. We have all these people that we made a vendor list that say, hey, on behalf of Hands On Moving, we're going to try to bring this piece that you love back to life on our dime. And if we could do that, we're going to do that because it's easy to throw money, even though you agree to it.
Right.
You still have to look at that dresser. You
Right.
still have to look at that china cabinet that may have a piece of glass or a chip on it, which could happen.
Right.
That you may love from your grandmother. And at the end of the day, I'm not giving you back what you agreed to at full value. But
Right.
if I could repair it and could stand in that new location, you'll love it. So customers love that about us. It's about the integrity. Most of the time, my guys, if it happens, if they see it, hey, ma'am, sir, this happened.
Right.
You know, we apologize, but this is the process. And that integrity goes a long way.
Absolutely.
And them knowing that we're going to bring out a company that they don't have to pay for in advance.
Right.
We take care of the bill. Sometimes, just be honest. People sometimes just say, hey, Xzavier, don't even worry about it.
Right.
Just because you guys were honest, things happen,
Well,
know?
your guys are not really honest, but they are forthcoming. They're just genuine people. When you see these big guys, big, small guys coming into because listen, some of your smaller guys pick up some of your heavier things.
Oh, yeah, they're shrunk.
I mean, there's no exaggeration about there's a way to lift product,
Correct.
and there's a way to move product, and you cannot judge the biggest guy there versus the smallest guy because the smallest guy might pick up the biggest and the heaviest
Absolutely.
things. Very impressive. I've seen you on many moves with your team, and your team is really a very professional company of people, and the smile and the disposition, the hard work and the ethic they care. It's truly amazing, and I've had again some clients with some very valuable items.
Yeah.
The Rizzutis, Bert,
Yeah.
and her husband were loving you. Still to this day, talk about you. Just an amazing. Donna and Ron, you
Yeah.
just moved them.
Yep.
Every client that I've ever had recommended to you, just call me up and say, David, I can't get over how amazing these guys were. All right. Again, I can continue to do the accolades over here. So is there anything you can't move for a client?
I mean, we have advanced where we got into the pool table, the grand pianos, the upright. We have done specialty heavy equipment. So, I try.
How
Yeah.
about a big gun safe?
Yeah. We do no more than 1,000 pounds.
Okay.
But we may be changing that. We're looking into getting some bigger equipment to assist with that. So we're always advancing. We try at a medium scale. We want to make sure that we become pros at it. So we don't want to jump to a 3,000-pound gun safe if we can't move a 500-pound gun safe.
That's a good point. Yeah,
So
no,
and the thing
you're
is, I
right.
want to be perfect at moving a 500-pound gun safe to go to 1,000-pound to 2,000 and 3,000. I will never take on the task just for the money. I would say, hey, I know someone that can do the job, and I'm gonna be like, you know what? Once I see a lot of people requesting it, I do my research. I'm like, hold on. That's how I got into pool table and everything. I'm like, a lot of people want me to move their pool table. And honestly, you want to deal with one company. You don't
Right.
want 1-800 Junk coming in, and then
Well-
you don't want Q Smart storage facility. You don't want all these companies being involved.
Right.
You want to hold one person accountable.
That's right.
And that's why we try to get that one-stop shop feel.
And you definitely are doing it and doing a great job at it. Your wife, what's her name?
Jana.
Jana. You must not see your husband much at all, which is probably how long have you been married for, by the way?
So we've been married for 5 years, and we've been together for 11.
So I got to tell you, the relationship must be amazing because you hardly see each other.
Don't
Because-
mention that.
I mean,
I get reminded.
Hold on,
I would get
John.
reminded about
Hold
it. all
on,
the
John.
time.
Listen, you know what though? You must be more proud of this man here since the day you know him and what he's done, and the amount of hard work you put into something. Like every spouse looks at their spouse, and as much as they work and they don't get to see them, they're proud of the people they're with. They know the level of comfort and care they provide to people. Even my own wife. She will tell you that I work all the time, and you know what makes you a great person? Her. You know why? And you know why.
I know why.
Because she supports you.
Yeah.
She supports you 7 days a week, and when that phone is ringing all the time, and she looks at you and she goes, "Are you gonna pick that phone up?" And you're like, "No." You're like, "I'm not gonna pick the phone up," but she knows you're when you need to pick that phone up.
I still laugh about on my wedding day. My best man said it takes a unique person to deal with this guy, and you're the perfect person for him. And I laugh about it because she's my biggest support system.
That's exactly
And she
right.
just allows me to flap my wings every single day. And I'm a maniac. I dream this empire state of mine every single day of growing and growing, doing for my community, doing for my staff, and I don't stop. And she's like, slow down, enjoy what you have.
Right.
You keep going on to the next project, the next opportunity. So my best man was right. Reggie, who's the vice president of my company, he's like, it takes a unique person to deal with you.
It's absolutely
and she's that person. So.
Oh, we got another question over here.
Do you use pods, Eric asks?
Oh, yes. So we don't personally have our own pods, but we offer the service for unloading them and loading them up. But the biggest thing with pods
My
is,
next question was,
Yeah.
do you have storage options?
So we have a full service, storage option for you to be stored with us in between moves, short term and long term. So when it comes to pods, that's kind of like in between of you having a project at your house or relocating.
So that's
we
a-
will assist you in that matter. Too.
So is the word pods means the company pods or a pod specifically like you guys have
Both.
pods?
So there's a pod is basically a container.
Yes.
It's a container that's dropped.
So do you have containers?
We don't have containers now.
Okay.
We don't have containers, but we do unload those and load those up if needed.
So I was gonna say because I've had clients I know for a fact who've gotten a pod
Yep.
and dropped in their house, and you've gone and you've emptied the furniture from their house, put it in the pods for the clients.
Correct.
So I know you do that, and
Yeah,
I know
so we
you,
offer the labor for that. Absolutely.
and the labor is 95% of everything
everything
involved.
that's needed. Correct.
Right? I mean, truthfully, it's actually much easier in that case. You just
Yeah.
go in there through the
And
move.
we have no control over how that pod is being moved. So it's honestly, it's a very scary moment where it's like, I don't have a driver. I don't know what's happening in between.
So is there any kind of so let me ask you a question. You're wrapping and you're storing, and you guys don't have to pack a truck, you guys don't have to pack
Correct.
a pod. But is there any point if that happens that there's any kind of liability to you?
So that's where, in that case, we don't cover any liability for the pods.
Right.
Because
There's no way.
we're not in control.
Right, because you could have some jamoke that goes in there and takes
yeah.
the pod and
And
boom,
it's
and
boom, yeah.
That
But
makes
what
complete
we do
sense.
tell them though is like, I don't recommend you doing it.
So-
so you should still have a full service company do it for you.
Well, and just letting your wife know in advance when he does own a pod company in the near future, because that might be something for you
yeah.
to really.
It's on the list.
I'm gonna say to you that might be a really great piece of the puzzle.
She's gonna be upset with you.
I'm
you just
sorry.
made another
You
division
love
for
him,
hands-on
I
moving.
love him. We all love him. But you know what it is that investment is part, but it's part of the business.
Yeah, yeah.
That could be a great little piece. All right, I'm gonna sidetrack from that over there. I hope she's watching, by the way.
I believe she is.
All right. So, do you offer storage options? Can you help clients get rid of things as well? So we kind of touched on before.
Yep.
So when people have a bunch of crap in their house, you can get rid of it.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic. And how much do your moving services cost? Now, before you answer that
Yeah.
question, I'm going to tell you in advance. It's the least expensive company in the business because I know that for a fact because most of my clients will call a couple companies and they always come back to you first. And they'll tell me, hey, just so you know, Dave, by the way, I called a couple of companies up and by the way, more importantly, you need to make sure to read reviews on people you hire before you hire them.
Absolutely.
That includes realtors, that includes insurance, mortgage people. Anytime you're going to go and do business with somebody in an important aspect of your life,
Absolutely.
go first and read reviews about them. So if we refer somebody to you and we appreciate the fact that you trust us, go read reviews about them.
Yep.
Let other people tell the story about their experience of working with you. Because
Absolutely.
I always tell people the internet's the most dangerous place in the world. If you screw somebody up, they're going to be out there and they're going to write about it.
Absolutely.
And I love when people read reviews about me. The first thing they say, I can't believe all the reviews I read about you. So the reviews about hands-on moving, let's talk about that.
Awesome.
Pretty amazing, right?
Yeah. Facebook, social media, all these private Guilford, Wallingford forums. I hear people say, hey, like everyone on social media, when I asked for a moving company, they all spoke highly about you. And it's amazing because you know how social media could be on your side or
Social
against
media
you.
can be one very volatile situation. I agree
Absolutely.
with you.
Yeah.
But that being said, if you're good at what you do and you treat people right as you always do, people write about it. They talk about it. And you know what's funny? If you go into those community forums of every town,
Yeah.
they will talk about, oh, let me tell you who I recommend using, and your
Absolutely.
name comes up.
Yeah.
Do they tag you when you see the tag?
They
on it?
tag me, absolutely. Yeah.
Love it. I love it. All right. So, typically, when it comes to selling or buying a home, dates get changed. So, if you're buying and selling a house, you're stressed out, like, oh my God, the dates of moving, the closing has changed. Oh my God, I got to call Xzavier and his team up.
Yep.
Well, guess what happens? They're used to it. They understand, and they're flexible.
Absolutely.
Right? They know how to make things adjust to your schedule and things you can't control. We can't control how it takes for a mortgage company or work schedules or whatever have you. So you guys are very good about that.
Yeah.
In addition to that, sometimes people are selling a house and buying a house, and when they sell their house, they need to put their stuff or items in storage, right?
Correct.
So how do you adjust for somebody that's buying a house but they need to move out of a house first, or can you do that?
Yeah. So there's cases where we learned that we needed to offer some type of medium because we offer storage, but no one wants to pay for 2 moves.
Right.
Because they're moving into their new house tomorrow, but they're
Right.
going to move out today.
Right.
Just think about it. If you're talking about $1,000 move, it turns into a $2,000 move easily if I move you to storage because it's like me moving you
Two
two
times.
times, 4 locations, right?
Right.
Load up, unload, load up, unload. So we came up with the overnight storage process on the truck, which means you pay 1 flat fee, small fee just to leave it on our truck, which covers our gas, which covers the liability to lock it down at our warehouse. It's a fraction of the cost versus paying for 2 moves. And
It's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. It's stationary. You know, the truck is stationary. It's in a gated business area, not in a regular busy street. We lock it down, and then the next day, if you're
You have
closing, it's at
guys with
12.
machine guns on the outside of the truck just to make sure
Just to make sure you're okay.
Yeah.
Yep. And we come in that next day because that closing might be at 12 or 1 o'clock.
Yep.
And you let us know, hey, Xzavier, show up at 2 o'clock.
You know, I'm going to tell you something. It's funny you mentioned that. I remember
You had a case like that too.
Yeah,
One of your clients.
my wife and I, when we moved back in 2008, and we didn't know you back then. You weren't existing back then.
Yep.
And our moving company had to come to our condo. We were selling. My wife will remember this because it was very stressful. And we hired this company. It was American Van Lines, by the way, which
Okay.
I didn't know the difference.
Yep.
And they held our product for because the closing got moved to later. So it extended the hours, like 5 or 6 hours. The amount of money they charged us,
Just to hold it, right?
I was bleeding from my eyes. I was so angry. I was so upset with the amount of money they charged me because of the closing went late. That's not going to happen with hands-on moving.
That's where the word in the industry comes up. They held my stuff hostage.
I was really angry. I was so angry. I know we got things kind of running to the end
Yep.
over here. It was, and that makes a huge difference. So when you're working with hands-on moving, you're not going to have those kind of problems.
Mr. Eric meant fish tanks
He-
when he was asking if you moved them.
Do you move fish tanks?
Oh yeah, as long as they're empty.
They move pool tables, Eric.
Empty
They-
fish
they-
tanks.
They
yeah.
move. They
We
move.
don't move it with the Oscars and the fish in there still. But
All
yes,
right.
we do.
Listen,
That's the next step.
listen. You've been amazing. There's so many questions I can continue asking you, and I just want to say thank you so much for being here today. You're amazing, guys. If you're out there and you're thinking about or planning a move, make sure to call Xzavier and his team. Call Hands on Moving. You're not going to be disappointed. As a matter of fact, you'll be less disappointed. You're going to be ecstatic. You're going to feel such less stress. Your friends are going to love you for not asking them to move you, because guess what? They don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And the truth of the matter is, you want to hire somebody who's going to be able to take care of every bit of the piece of the puzzle in regards to the moving.
Thank you. Man.
So thank you for being such a professional, you and your team.
Appreciate
And
that.
all 40 to 50 of those people involved and your office girls
Yeah.
are amazing. So please make sure to call Hands on Moving. You will not be disappointed at all. All right, now we are at the last part of our show. We do the spinning wheel, what Jonathan's doing, to find out if the lucky winner is a free tumbler, as we give away every week.
Nice.
Bum, 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 bum. Cartoon underscore artwork underscore MGA Instagram. An Instagram winner has just won a free tumbler.
Nice.
Please get in touch with us. Unfortunately, we don't know how to read your name from that information. So make sure to reach out to me. Call me up, 203-671-7062. Text me, call me, or reach out to it through social media, and we'll be sure to get you a tumbler again for you. every week. Please stay tuned. We're excited. Next week, you're going to have a show where my wife, Valerie, is going to be in the show.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be a great show. She has just started working over the last couple of weeks at a new salon in New Haven where she's going to talk about her experience about waxing, nails, makeup, hair. She's a phenomenon. Let me just tell you, an amazing wife, and she makes the beauty she brings out the beauty in you.
Nice.
You know,
I'll be tuning in.
Now, looking forward to having her on the show.
Yeah.
Hopefully, your wife will be watching.
She will.
And anybody else you know watching at home, thank you so much for tuning in every week with us over here on the PowerCast. Again, you can catch us all over social media. Make sure to YouTube, hit subscribe, type in Team Powerhouse Real Estate, and we'll be with you every week and on the replay. Thank you so much thank you so much, everybody, for being with us every week as I'm tongue-tied. We miss you, Eric, back home. Looking forward to seeing you on the next show. And peace out, everybody. Who does that with some of those shows? Peace out, everybody. We'll see you guys later, and have a good night.